Hey guys, get ready with me while we discuss my film Operation Delete and answer the question, how did your production skills develop throughout this project? Let's first discuss my group's selection on what to make. I got together with my film crew and we started inventing our product. We came up with the idea of teens breaking into the principal's office because we thought it would be a fun concept and convenient to film at our school since our teacher allowed us to film during class. This made things way easier to get done as we wouldn't have to drive out to some fancy place and deal with possible continuity issues that take place with uncontrollable environments. This showed my group's ability to make production decisions which were practical, creative, and accessible with time restrictions. We already had minor experience with filmmaking since joining our media studies class, but we realized that this film was more serious than our prior projects. This created a shift from our current basic content creation to a more structured media production, which made planning essential. We realized that we had to make a more precise storyboard with a full-blown script to make the filming process as smooth as possible. We also realized that our camera work had to be executed precisely, and we would have to find ways to execute shot techniques on our phones since we didn't have high-tech equipment to film. When it came to picking the movie's genres, we wanted to pick some that we were both familiar with and enjoyed watching. At first, we were deciding on comedy, adventure, and musical. The only one we were unsure about, though, was musical because it contains the conventions, instrumentation, lyrical themes / style, showstoppers, and narrative suspension. We were interested in this because we thought that it would be unique and a fun filming process as we would create our own songs. However, we eventually ended up switching from musical to drama because we thought it would work better into our film and be easier to get done for a deadline December 10th. Here, our ability to evaluate ideas and adapt them to fit production restraints and a clear narrative. So with comedy, adventure, and drama, we would have to contain their conventions. For drama films, character and relationship narratives, structure, and mise-en-scène. For comedy films, conventions are exaggeration, slapstick, witty dialogue, and repetition. Conventions for adventure are the hero's quest, high-stake tension, race against time, and protagonist versus antagonist. Creating a storyboard was vital to make sure our filming process was as smooth as possible. We had to keep in mind that this project would be more of an opening to a film, so we had to remain in the exposition of the plot. This meant we needed to set up the story rather than fully execute it, which could be difficult at times because advancing the storyline felt necessary. We had to make sure to also plan out angles used since they hold significant meaning. For example, low angles to portray a character can show authority and a leader position. We also had to make sure the lighting looked visually appealing and fitting in each scene. The mise-en-scène, which is everything the viewer can see, was also very important to plan out as it sets the mood and communicates information to the audience without specifically stating anything. This helped me recognize how small visual details contribute to the overall tone and genre of a film. Sound was another very important thing to consider because if scenes were not audible, our product's message would not fully be sent to the audience. So we planned to use a microphone close to us while filming dialogue scenes to get as clear of a sound as we could. This emphasized how audio elements are just as important as visuals in ensuring the audience's understanding. Having to consider and fully plan all these elements was difficult because there was a lot we had to prepare in advance for before we could actually get into executing our idea and seeing our plan work out. My personal experience with the group was actually stress-free and very enjoyable. I'm glad I chose a team that is reliable and fun to work with. We are a compatible team because we are open to each other's progressing ideas and figure out ways to work towards a solution if anything goes wrong. The decision-making process with the film, like what to make the story about and how to portray the film's themes through camera work and editing, went smoothly. Each of us equally would chip in ideas and ways to incorporate every idea we had. This experience improved my collaboration skills. I learned to compromise, consider others' ideas, and build on them instead of just working with my own. When it came to scheduling, our teacher first tried to use an online schedule published to our class's Google Classroom. Problems with the online scheduling was that we couldn't pinpoint what date we wanted to film and show it to our teacher. Then our teacher shifted to a physical poster calendar that each group could pick a designated day. This calendar led up to our drafted film final due date on December 10th. My team and I negotiated and managed our scheduling for our own production. We first checked in with each other while in class and worked to find a day we were all free. We decided to work during and after school hours, trying to aim more towards during school hours to avoid having to stay later and step into our teacher's personal time. We also realized that we had to email our principal and work a day with her to get her in our film. I talked to her in the morning before school started and figured out a day she was free. We planned to schedule our first day during school November 14th while in class. This required good time management and organization skills essential in real media production. Our film takes place inside of a school using various hallways, a classroom, and an office. We had to consider the challenges we would face with this location and the limited availability to film after or during school. We wanted to make the filming process as easy as we could and minimize any possible continuity issues, so we chose a few spots near our class to film at. I took pictures of everywhere we would film so we could grasp an idea of where to plan our storyline around. This improved our ability to plan for continuity and spatial awareness when filming. We decided to ask our friend Daniel if he could do the camera work because he is someone we all know and trust. One of my team members, Joyce, decided to take the main role of editing our film because she had a lot of experience with CapCut and shared her vision for the film that we all agreeably liked. Our workflow was more efficient and reflective of real production teams, as each of us in our team specialized in an area. I feel like this whole process developed my media and production skills a lot. I learned that I enjoy planning a film because my team and I got to collaborate and turn our creative ideas into something tangible. I love seeing the progression going from planning to filming to actually editing our product. Through this process, my planning, teamwork, technical, and creative skills were developed. I also gained a better understanding of camera work and editing. I learned that I work the best in collaborative and creative planning stages. Once we finished our principal photography, we created a rough cut of our film and shared it with our class. We received many suggestions from our class after the first showing, such as sound being a major issue due to it having an echo, cutting out scenes without much significance, adding more transitions in between scenes, and isolating the voice over the film to help when it comes to audio and sound problems. These suggestions revealed my ability to take criticism, and I found myself to be very open to everyone's ideas. I was grateful to have people that would help the film advance to its highest potential, and my group and I got together and discussed changes we would make. This demonstrates my ability to accept constructive criticism and apply it efficiently to improve the final product. After receiving our class's suggestions, we discussed many areas, for starters the sound, and decided to refilm or isolate our voices and add voiceovers. We found it to be more efficient to record a voiceover and add it to all clips where our sound lacks. We decided that we definitely needed more comedy in our film so the audience could know that the film is indeed a comedy. Cutting a lot of long scenes was another consideration so that we could have enough time on the film and reach the limit. We got to revising and recording new voiceovers, which we added on top of the scenes where the audio wasn't clear. This improved audio clarity and made our story's narrative easier to follow for viewers. Many scenes were taken out to make the storyline make more sense. This made our pacing stronger and ensured engagement. When it came to creating logos, we discussed ideas and decided that we wanted our logos to enforce our genre conventions and go along with the film's themes. We wanted one logo which would ease our viewers into the film containing a story background, such as DreamWorks. We wanted another one of our logos to emphasize the main theme of a race against time. We used a prompt-based AI device, Hail AI, sorry if I mispronounced that, which did have trial and error, but eventually got a likable result. For credits, Joyce created them on the editing software Alightmotion. We took inspiration from the credits of the film Home Alone, which is very simplistic but pleasing to watch. Overall, this entire project made my understanding of media production and ability to execute creative ideas enhanced to a different level. I gained a higher confidence with my planning skills that I will be able to use for future projects. My ability to work well with others and accept constructive criticism makes me hopeful for future collaborations in filming. Oh look, I'm all ready. Let's go.